Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I, this morning, have a problem. My 8-year-old has instructed, he literally has instructed his elf on the shelf to bother me. He thinks it's hilarious that his elf on the shelf likes to come in my office and get into my things. And so, this morning I woke up, came in my office, and the elf on the shelf has been going through my wallet, and I begged my son to get him to stop, and he said, nope, he's not going to do that. And so he will not call the elf on the shelf off. I can't wait till this thing is gone. Okay, I want to tell you right from the start what's going to happen in this video. This is a lot of times you see things and you're like, well, there's really two of them in this video. And so what you're going to find out in this video is what I've been saying, which is that words mean things. You're also going to find out that all the world's a stage. And I'm also going to reiterate the point that these Bitcoin maxis have had a plan all along. They have always known that Bitcoin was not the one. And yesterday I showed you Dan Morehead from Pantera Capital, basically saying, Bitcoin's great. I mean, these guys, remember, the backdrop is for years now, these guys, all they would talk about is Bitcoin. You couldn't beg them to say Ripple or XRP. Couldn't drag it out of them. And if they did bring it up, they'd switch the subject real quick. And now, all of a sudden, you're starting to see a few of them tell what's really going on. Well, today I'm going to show you another one. And you're going to understand that these guys have known about XRP all along, even when they don't say it. There's clips that you're starting to see, and all the world's a stage. This is not a coincidence. They've had a plan, man. Okay, let's start with Joker. Joker had two interesting tweets that I liked this morning. He says, according to the monthly Renko chart, which I have no idea what a Renko chart is because I'm not a chartist and I'm not a trader. I buy and hold because I see the big picture. But the Joker is a trader out of Australia. It says, according to the monthly Renko chart, Bitcoin is all bull. Bitcoin new all-time high opens the door for many alts to retest their all-time high. Bears just don't get it. I got some more litecoin, ethereum, BNB, XRP, XLM, DGB at these cheap levels. Well, just so you know, the digital asset investor has been accumulating more at these levels too. Okay, so yeah, you're darn right I am. Okay, now the Joker says, I like this one. He says, my world is different than yours. Mine is upside down. In my world, XRP is crashing to $1 levels. And I think what the Joker is telling us is that we are going to blow past the $1 levels, and then we will have pullbacks where we crash down to $1. But this is just the beginning. That's what I think he's telling us. Okay, moving along. Now, there's a lot of interesting things coming out. Michael at VAL5 Links, Banca Generali is planning to introduce cryptocurrency services in 2021. According to a December 15th announcement, Banca Generali has entered a corporate and commercial partnership with Conio, a fintech company. And then we have this from XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple Early Investor Standard Chartered is permitted to establish a digital bank in Singapore. The writing is on the wall, folks. All right. And then we have this from XRP Crypto Wolf. Inflation debate looms large over U.S. market outlook. Save yourselves with gold, silver, and cryptocurrency. In the U.S., long-term inflation expectations implied by the bond market have rebounded sharply from pandemic lows to their highest in 18 months. Okay, now here's where things get really, really interesting. Listen up close, folks. Here we go. Michael at VL5 Links, he threw this at me this morning, and this caught my attention. BlackRock ? The largest overall investor in MicroStrategy with around 15% of the company's shares is BlackRock. a New York-based global investment management corporation. I've said for a long time on this channel, all eyes on BlackRock. BlackRock runs the financial world. BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world, okay? This guy that we've been seeing paraded out, Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy, it was almost like he was activated to be a Bitcoin maxi. And over the last few months, he's the guy that he's investing through MicroStrategy in like over $600 million of Bitcoin, right? All the world's a stage, all eyes on Bitcoin. Well, turns out, based on what Michael at VAL5 links, and I went and checked him out to make sure, and he is correct. Look who owns MicroStrategy. The top owner, top stockholder, BlackRock. Right behind that, Vanguard Group. And I'm sure if you went and peeled back who these companies are, you would find even more. But this is a big deal. And I'm going to show you why. This is from XRP Researcher on August 29th of 2019. Warning, 100% confirmed facts. PNC Bank starts using RippleNet. It was the first bank that started using RippleNet, by the way. PNC owns 22% of BlackRock. BlackRock has $6.5 trillion in assets. BlackRock hires former Ripple executive to lead digital asset team. There was also, by the way, a guy who worked at BlackRock, left BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, to go work at Ripple. In fact, I got on the line with him one time and asked him a question which he avoided. And I can't remember his name right now. But he was in one of those conference calls I was in one time. And what I think, as I recall, what I asked him was, I said, you know, you've got all these people that are leaving these major companies like Goldman Sachs, BlackRock. And then I showed him I read to him the Bob Way quote from Bob Way. For those of you that don't know, was one of the first 10 people at Ripple. And Bob Way had said on his, I believe on his LinkedIn page, that those people that were leaving those major jobs and major salaries had done the math on what XRP would look like if they achieved a portion or of what they were trying to achieve, and the numbers were staggering. In so many words, that's what he said. And I asked the guy, and the guy totally avoided the question. And oh, I'm just here for the tech. Yeah, right. Okay, so moving along now. So PNC is the largest owner in BlackRock. They're the first Ripple customer, and BlackRock, the guy that, and it's not just any guy, it's Robbie Mitchnick, who runs their digital, I can't remember what they call it, their digital wealth department. The guy runs it, Robbie Mitchnick. He's the same guy that got with Susan Athey, who's on Ripple's board, and created a valuation framework at Stanford for XRP back in 2018, I believe. Now, we're not done yet. So, this is from April 3rd, 2019. Tuesday, BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, said it would undergo a massive management overhaul to focus on alternative investments. BlackRock recently hired former Ripple product marketer Robbie Mitchnick to that's what it's called, the digital wealth team. Okay? So, they're undergoing a massive management overhaul to focus on alternative investments. Wonder what that could have been. Okay? We're not done yet. All right? Now, RizXRP sent me something where I was like, aha. Okay. So this is from the Binance, CZ Binance, the CEO of Binance, and some other guy. They did a fireside chat with Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy, which, remember, BlackRock is the largest owner in MicroStrategy. So Michael Saylor pops up out of nowhere as the poster boy for a company that's going to invest in Bitcoin. I mean, he's popped up, I think, 6 months ago or so. And he's the guy, and he's been carrying the flag ever since. And now we know BlackRock is the largest owner in his company. Well, what does this all have to do? Well, I mean, I've showed you how BlackRock ties into Ripple, but we're not done yet. Listen to this clip.
Through the system to the good of everybody.
And while you're listening to this clip, remember that words mean things.
And I like that creativity. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Love the metaphor. Do you have any other interest then? I'm not saying holdings, but I mean just interest philosophically, practical interest in other crypto assets or any other protocols out there?
You know, my interest in crypto, I look at crypto as creating life in cyberspace. And so you write, the protocol is the DNA, and you're releasing a life form. And Bitcoin is like a base level life form. It's almost like the algae, which is the base plankton level of all life on Earth, right? It's the plant life. And then you can create other forms of life that you can release, life that might do things that Bitcoin doesn't do, right? I mean, we all know that Bitcoin doesn't do everything. It doesn't do as much privacy as you would want. It doesn't do as much smart contracts as you would want. It doesn't do as fast transactions as you would want. These are all different life forms. Now, why do you want a life form in cyberspace or a crypto? If you're in search of immortal sovereignty, right? If you need something to transcend a government, a country, or a company, not everything needs to. By the way, I love Binance as a digital exchange, and I don't need it to transcend UCZ or transcend. I think it's fine the way it is. I mean, if I wanted to give all my money to my great grandchildren, I'm more likely to do it in Bitcoin than leave it on the Binance exchange. And you could figure out why, right? But at the same time, I think that the world needs to have a mixture of cryptos, a mixture of digital assets. There's a place for all these things. And I think that the real key is when you're playing God in cyberspace, you kind of got to get the genetic DNA protocol just right then you release it, and then you let it grow and it fills its ecosystem.
I want you to listen very closely because words mean things.
And what we've got is the Cambrian explosion of crypto life forms, and some are going to live and some are not going to live. And the market is like this Darwinian natural selection process, right? And we'll see what happens.
All right. The phrase Cambrian explosion. One of the interesting things that happens when you talk about one company and one digital asset primarily, and you do it for over 2 years, is that when you hear words, your mind delivers things up instantly that you remember. And it happens here all the time. And luckily for you, this delivered something up for me. When I hear the word Cambrian explosion, that's a phrase I haven't heard too many times in my life. But the last time that I heard it, and in fact, I may have only heard it one time in my life, maybe in school, I don't remember. But I do remember where I heard it last, and that is from the chairman and founder of Ripple. Listen up.
But there's that missing layer of what is the IP, what is the ship.
By the way, this is back May 2018.
But there's that missing layer of what is the IP, what is the shipping container that's going to wire them all together. And that's the part, thankfully, that's being introduced. Now, when you combine then those new apps, those new devices, those new databases with an interoperability layer, boom. I mean, that changes the world overnight. And I think we're so close to that. And that will create this Cambrian explosion. But
there you go. Now, listen, folks, you got to understand, just like you in your community, certain groups of people, they hang out together. They go to parties together. They go to dinner together. People form groups. They hang out. Don't think for a minute that these guys out of Silicon Valley and the masters of the universe, the people that are making things happen, don't think that these guys are not at the same dinner parties and are not at the same dinner tables and parties and groups. They all hang out together. Words mean things. Phrases mean things. And this is not a coincidence. Let me show you something else that's not a coincidence, because we're not done yet. Michelle Vandenberg sent me this. Anderson L. He says, I never believed. No, folks, pay close attention here. He says, I never believed the official story of ODL. A big reason was Euro USD, the world's most liquid corridor. Now, where is it? Trial over? ? And then this is what he's pointing to. And this, I've never even seen this website, but he's pointing to this right here. And it's it's utility scan. I've never even looked at this, but it shows ODL map showing ODL transactions for the last 3 hours in accelerated mode. Really kind of cool graphic there, right? But let's go back to what Anders L says. I never believed the official story of ODL. A big reason was Euro USD, world's most liquid corridor. Now, where is it? In other words, he's saying, was it just a trial? Was this just a trial run? Well, where have I heard that? I can tell you where I've heard that. Remember when we've talked about Kendra Hill, who was on Steemit a couple of years ago and disappeared, just like Rachel Lee disappeared? I've always been intrigued by all these accounts that keep disappearing but seem to know things. Well, Esoteric XRP laid it out in this tweet I've shown us several times on this channel. It's worth showing again. Kendra Hill revealed a few things back in 2018. XRP and XLM were the chosen ones. Ripple and Amazon, announcement coming. Codius was not dead. And 4, cross-border payments was only a test. The $100 trillion derivatives market is the real target. Let me read that again. Cross-border payments was only a test. The $100+ trillion derivatives market is the real target. I give you BlackRock. I give you Anders L. I never believed the official story of ODL. I give you Kendra Hill and Rachel Lee also, who also said that it was about FX and derivatives. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that my chair still squeaks and I have an elf problem. Thanks for listening.